Yeah, good evening, everyone. Panchatantra Planet is back with another wonderful session, the Saturday series. Today we are with a totally different topic. It's on emotional intelligence. And you know what Panchatantra Planet is doing for the last 4 to 5 months. We are constantly working behind the curtain to get amazing people on the platform to guide each and every one of you, whether you are a school leader or coordinator or principal or vice principal or teacher, whomsoever it is. Why we do so? Because education sector is changing at a breakneck speed. And India government has also come up with the new NEP. As a result of that, a lot of changes are taking place. So updating and upskilling ourselves, whatever role you play in the school, that is very crucial in the present age. Looking into that aspect only, we are trying to bring people from different areas, people who have exposure in different areas, we are trying to bring into the platform. So we decided that today we will bring a person bit different from pedagogy and academics to emotional intelligence, because that is very crucial at the present age. Because as you know, schools are reopening. And we don't know how the children will be coming to the class after sitting at home for 1.5 years, more than 18 months. They were sitting at home and now they are going to come to the classes. What emotional problems they will be having and how that should be tackled. And you know, many surveys and its results have already come. And some of the data provided in front of us are scary. When we look into that aspect, it is very clear that emotional management or mental health is too crucial for the survival the schools, and how we manage children emotionally, that matters more than content. Even though learning gap is there, more than content and addressing academic aspects, first we have to settle the kids emotionally. Once the right emotional setup is made, then we can work on academics and fill the so that we thought emotional intelligence is the right topic for Panchatantra Planet to address today. And we got an amazing person to do that. That is none other than Mr. Vasant Agrawal, a person who has been in the field for last more than 4 decades, associating with the prestigious companies as a consultant, and also working in the field of emotional intelligence right from LKG to what I can say 50 or 60 years of age. Such a person we got. He is an international figure. He is an international speaker, moderator, advisor, director of different associations. He is a multifaceted personality. And currently he is the director of Discover My Mind. From that itself, you can understand what he is trying to do. He is trying to discover the minds of the people and help them how to succeed academically and also professionally, and to build a positive mindset. That's what his whole target is. He has written books like Accidental Addict, The Power of Positive Thinking, then The Complete Guide to Emotional Intelligence, Parenting with Emotional Intelligence. Such well-known books he has written. Not only these 3 books, there are plenty of books written by him. You can just browse on the Google, then you can come to know. You may be thinking why this person is taking a lot of time to introduce a person, because he is a person who cannot be introduced within 2 to 3 minutes. It is impossible. Now you are going to see what he is going to speak to you. And he conducts amazing workshops, webinars, and all for different professionals, especially for school principals, teachers, students too. He will be talking about that also. What are the services he provides? What are the types of training he provides? How can you all take your schools to a new level? How can you help the children to build a positive mindset? On all that he will be talking to you. Now it is time for me to welcome Vasant Agarwal to this platform, to Panchatantra platform. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the Panchatantra planet. I welcome you. And it's really, what I can say, it's really amazing for us. It's really wonderful for us to see you on our platform, an eminent person like you. We welcome you. And along with that, I welcome all the participants, the principals, teachers, coordinators, vice principals from across the country and abroad. I know there are teachers even from Sri Lanka, Middle East, and all attending, some of the regions attending over here. I welcome you all to the Panchatantra platform, and also the directors of Panchatantra Planet. I welcome you too to this particular session. And before handing over the platform to Vasant Agarwal sir, I would like to invite Binu Mon, the principal of Adarsh Vidya Kendra Kanyakumari, to brief the audience about our upcoming programs of Panchatantra Planet. Over to Binu Mon, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. No need of any further introduction. Panchatantra Planet, for a long time, we have been doing continuous sessions to enrich school leaders, teachers, parents, and students. And we are coming up with different programs based on the scenario and the requirements of students community, parents community, and teachers community. Here, our next series, that is 27th of our virtual CPD series, that is coming up. That's based on a very different topic, pedagogical strategies and innovative teaching in the 21st century. We have a set of very good panelists or speakers on that particular day. That is 18th September 2021. Time is also very much comfortable for all of you. That is 4:30, the same time. It's our 27th series. That is a very prestigious session because 3 eminent people are joining together on that particular day. One is a renowned educationist and writer of various books based on education, Professor Matthew C. Nainan. He's a director of Little Rock Indian School, Udupi. With him, Mr. Ashish Bhatnagar, principal, the Indian Public School, Erode, Tamil Nadu. And he's also an international trainer, educator, and a well-renowned speaker. Both these eminent speakers are joining together, and the session is moderating Professor Dr. George Kolanjeri. No need of any further introduction about George Kolanjeri. He's a very good trainer and CBSE's master trainer, and he's coordinating CBSE's pedagogical leadership in South India. And he's moderating this session. He's the former dean of Urdu University, US affiliate. Currently, he's working as the principal of Crescent Public School, Chalakudi in Kerala. More than that, he's the state general secretary of APCOS. That is, APCOS is an association of principals. And the day, definitely it will be very precious. Professor Matthew C. Nainan, he is focusing on innovative leadership in 21st century schools. And Mr. Ashish Bhatnagar, he is focusing on innovative pedagogy and teaching in the light of national education policy. So I would like to request all of you to be a part of this program. You can register today itself. The link will be shared immediately by the end of this session. Apart from this session, our 28th series, that is very precious because it's very closely related to art integration. Most of the CBSE principals and teachers, it's a much needed session. Even though so many sessions are happening in all over the country regarding art integration, But this art integration session is specifically designed because this session is going to be taken by an artist, Pandit Chetan Joshi, one of the famous flutists, and he's an ambassador of cultural ambassador for country. He's going to take the session. So definitely it will be an enriching session. It is related to social science subject. And there are a lot of focus areas there, why to integrate art and social sciences, how to integrate art at different levels, when to integrate art with topics, some of the demonstration of art integration. So you can ask your questions, queries, whatever it may be. And definitely takeaway will be very good and it will be enriching. You can use it in classroom scenario. And the next session is also in the same series, that is art integration. It's based on languages, that is 29th session. Mrs. Surekha Day, she's one of the famous resource persons. At the same time, she's running her own company of training, and she's a very good language trainer. She's having an international exposure. She was abroad for long years as a teacher and educator. And Surekha ma'am is leading the session. No need to worry about that, because definitely you will get wonderful takeaways that will be practically you can apply in your real classroom scenario. And this is 23rd September 2021 at 5:30 to 7 p.m. That time is very comfortable as the schools, most of the schools are reopened and the teachers, most of the teachers are engaged right now. That's why this timing is very comfortable for most of the teachers. That is 5:30 to 7 p.m. Kindly note down this particular date in your calendar and then kindly join. You can even school leaders, if it is there, please inform your teachers. Definitely all these two sessions are very enriching. And coming up again with same art integration series, that is science, Mr. Binesh Menon. There is no need of any introduction about him. He's an author of so many books, especially kindergarten and primary teaching books. He's a wonderful dancer. He's a famous Bharatanatyam dancer, an inter-university winner, and he's a television artist. Binesh Menon already taken a session for us. Binesh Menon is coming back with art integration. He's a physics postgraduate. He's going to integrate science and art. So I request all the teachers and principals, please join the session that is on 29th September 2021. The same time, that is 5:30 to 7 p.m. because we have slightly modified our timing because as the schools are getting reopened. Next is art integration based on mathematics. That is actually all these series are based on NEP, National Education Policy. What all points mentioned in the National Education Policy is going to be real in classrooms with the support of these eminent experts, because they will give you inputs, what to do, how to integrate arts and subjects. So this is mathematics. Mrs. Beenas Sachikrishnan. He's one of the famous teachers in our country, and now she's working in abroad. She's a part of Bhavan's group, Bharati Vidya Bhavan groups. She's working in Bhavan Smart Indian School, Kuwait. That is on 6th October 2021, 5:30 to 7 p.m. Both these sessions definitely will help the teachers to integrate their subjects with art. So these are the important sessions that are coming up. Apart from that, so many other sessions are also in the pipeline. So we are going to conduct a school leadership program, how to transform a school from good to a great school. So that is, we are associating with a US company, and they are going to provide a 5 days leadership training program for teachers, not only teachers, for the principals, especially all the administrators and vice principals. Everybody can join that program. That's also coming up. We'll give you further details regarding that later. Apart from that, we are going to conduct very special programs based on sports integration and role of sports and games in emotional well-being of learners in the post-COVID schools. That is on 25th September. Normally, sports-related seminars and webinars are very less in number in our country, and most of the even most of the schools are even ignoring that area. So we are giving more importance to sports, how to integrate sports, even with curriculum and the role of teachers, everything. So kindly inform your physical education teachers, especially, to be a part of this program. 13th October, again, art integration commerce stream session is coming up. Then 20th to 25th October, converting schools from good to great. That I already told you. That is a 5 days program for school principals in collaboration with US education experts. October, November, we are planning for 3 days sports integration special training again for school leaders and teachers in collaboration with Spotify.
Hello, sir.
So that's also one of the famous companies. November, again, counseling and socio-emotional training session for school teachers, counselors, and principals. So I elaborated all these things. This is just for your remembrance. You have to keep it in your mind. All of you are very much engaged nowadays because the schools are gradually getting reopened. We are all principal. I am also principal. I know your work schedule, your stress schedule, everything. So kindly block your dates and remind your teachers to be a part of this program. We are always bringing the best people, and that is why definitely takeaways will be very much beneficial for all the teachers and the schools. Thank you all. Thank you.
I'm not online anymore. Send me the link again, please. Send me the
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, Vasan sir. Can you hear me?
Vasan sir is muted, I think so.
Yes, sir. Hello, no, sir. Just hold for a minute. He wanted that link once again. Audience, please be patient. Vasan sir has got some problem with that. I'll be sending him the link once again. Vasan sir, can you hear me now?
You can unmute and speak, I think so, sir. It's already.
Vasan sir, can you hear me now? I have sent you the link.
It's asking me for my password. It keeps asking me for my password.
Sir, now you're okay, sir. Vasan sir, you're okay now. You're audible. You can speak now.
No,
Sir, can you hear me?
I cannot see. You see, you can see me. You can hear me. I can also hear you, but I'm not on your system.
Okay.
Radha Krishnan, one second. Hold on.
Hello, everyone. Vasan sir is back.
Okay.
Back now.
Now I'm back.
I will start the program. There are some technical glitches from his end. He is rectifying it.
Okay. Now, Oh goodness, I hate this. I hate this. Okay. I'm not able to launch meeting. Hello. Hello.
Sir, we can inform.
You can hear me,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
but can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
I
You're
can't see. I
audible.
can't see you. So
Okay.
let's just assume that I can't see you. Let's start the proceeding. This is crazy. And now I can see you. I can see you. You can see me, right?
Yes, yes.
It won't let me launch.
Hello, sir. We are not able to hear you.
You're not able to hear me or see me.
Sir, we are not able to hear you.
Yeah, sir. He's audible, sir. Rather, sir, he's audible. I can hear. Sir is audible. Vasan, sir, you're audible. Now you're okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we can start, I guess.
You can start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to this webinar. My name is Vasant Agarwal, and I'm an author, I'm a speaker, and I've spent many years in emotional intelligence. And I would like to share my thoughts with you. I want to thank you for attending. What is the objective of the webinar? The objective is to make you anxious to learn about emotional intelligence. I want to empower you. I want to transform your life. Obviously, everybody has problems, mental health problems, or other problems. And the need is to get away from the negative thoughts, to get it to start enjoying positive thinking. And in essence, emotional intelligence provides that for you. If you master emotional intelligence, you will learn that all these problems can go away. Now, what is emotional intelligence? Basically, it's self-affirmation, self-regulation, empathy, compassion, and relationship management. So let's go through each one of those one at a time. Self-affirmation. What that means is how you assess yourself. Who am I? Why am I? Where am I? What am I doing in my life? And it leads down to your self-confidence, your self-worth. So self-affirmation is very important. It's a way of self-assessment where you realize who you are. The second is self-regulation. You know your emotions and you know that many times they go out of control. So being able to manage your emotions is the next thing. It's very important because more times than not, we make mistakes, we make decisions, we say something or do something that was not wise. It was not something that we should have done. So that is self-regulation. The next is empathy and compassion. The key cornerstone of emotional intelligence is empathy and compassion. Being able to understand the feelings of others, being able to relate to them, being able to put out a helping hand, and in general, looking out for the best interests of the other person, not so much yourself. And the final aspect of emotional intelligence is relationship management. How do you relate to your neighbor, your friend, your compatriot at work, your student at school? So relationship management is very important, because if you don't maintain our relationships, then there is no point. You will be unhappy. And that comes from communication. If you establish good communication with the people around you, then you will have good relationships. But if you don't, you won't. So these are the 4 basics of emotional intelligence. So if we could go to the first slide, please, Radhakrishnan-ji.
Oh, I have to present? Okay, I will present, sir. No issue.
Yes.
Just hold on, sir. Yeah, are you able to see, sir?
Yes, I'm able to see. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to see if I can move the cursor forward.
No, you can't move, I think. I have to move from here. I will move. You just tell me when to move. That's
Yeah, please go to the next slide.
all. Okay. Yeah, you are able to see the next slide?
And unfortunately not, I can't see it here. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm so sorry, people, for the interruption. Do you find that frustration is spoiling everything? Do you dream to achieve bigger things? Do you believe you deserve better? Do you want better physical and mental health? Do you agree that better self-confidence will help you? Do you believe that better emotional awareness and control of your emotions will help you? Do you believe that you need a better understanding of yourself? And so all of these questions that we have that we need to address. The next slide, please. Do you feel that better self-esteem will result in a stronger willpower? Do you believe that you need to clean the cobwebs in your mind because that is what's clouding your decision making? Do you feel that empathy and compassion will help you manage yourself? Do you see yourself losing precious time and energy because of bad habits? Would you like to excel in your life with clear goals? Do you believe that by getting rid of your fears and anger, that you can achieve better success? And do you feel strongly the urge to know what is blocking you from greater success in life? So these are important questions that one must consider in planning their time and their energy and their effort. Could we go to the next slide, please?
Yeah.
Okay, and so there are all these other questions. Would you like to have peace of mind? Like to be equally judicious in your successes and your failures? Is procrastination a problem because you keep postponing what you need to do? Would it make a difference in your life if you can manage your stress and anxiety? Do you believe that you have a lot of untapped potential, that you have not maximized your potential? Does overthinking and worrying make your life complicated? And if the answer to all these questions is yes, then we have a training and certification course, which we will discuss at the end of the webinar. And I strongly urge you to participate in that. Next slide, please. This is a little bit about myself, my biodata. I've lived in America over 40 years. I've come back to India to give back to my country. I got involved in emotional intelligence not long ago, only 5 or 6 years ago. But I read and I met people and I studied the subject. And today I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I've written 4 books on the subject. And I have a wide network of people that are very interested in the subject matter. And that is the key thing. The problem we face, particularly in our country, is that there is a total lack of awareness and education on emotional intelligence. People just simply don't know what it is about. I was at a party recently and somebody asked me, so what do you do? Aap kya karte hain? And I said, oh, I'm involved in emotional intelligence. And they looked at me and asked me, ye kya nayi bimari hai? Is this a new illness? And I just looked at them and I said, my gosh, this person really has no idea of the value proposition. So the key thing that we have to remember is that we must educate people. We must give them an understanding of the value of emotional intelligence. Until we do that, we could be talking and speaking and educating all we want. But the person has to understand what is it, what is emotional intelligence? Why is it important? How can we improve our emotional intelligence? How can we use our emotional intelligence? All these questions are what people have. And with your effort and all the people that are joining our programs and our mission, we'll get to the point where people will begin to understand what it is we're talking about. The next slide, please. Okay, this is a description of what is emotional intelligence. Our IQ remains constant throughout our life. It is our EQ that develops. People think that they get a degree, a 6-year degree in psychiatry, that they are smarter than the day that they were born or before they took the course. That's not the case. The IQ remains constant. It is our EQ, our emotional intelligence, that develops. EQ teaches us to identify and manage our emotions. That is the most difficult part, to know why you are feeling the way you are feeling, to label and identify the emotion, and then to control it. Impulse control is what it's called. You're going to say something or do something which you're going to regret later on. Before you do that, we must train our mind to look at the action, look at what we're going to do, and not do it if it is not going to be in our long-term interest. So heightening the awareness and application of our emotions is very important. EQ, or emotional intelligence, teaches us how to think, not what to think. It allows the mind, not our emotions, to control our actions. It helps uncomplicate ourselves. We need to simplify our lives. And that is the key to being happy. EI is about understanding ourselves. Who are we? Why are we doing the things we're doing? What do we need to do with our lives? And understanding of ourselves, which is self-affirmation, as I mentioned earlier, is the key to controlling, managing emotions, using them. And so it affects the functionality of our IQ. Everybody has a certain, level of IQ, which is our intelligent quotient. Now, that IQ needs to be managed, and EQ helps us to improve the functionality of our IQ. It is a powerful way to learn about ourselves and upskill our faculties. Everyone has various talents, and if we can upgrade those talents, then it will help us in our daily tasks and in our careers. It also affects our competency. How competent are we in whatever we do? And so if we learn emotional intelligence and apply it, it affects that. Next slide, please. There's a lot of advantages, a lot of good reasons why we must learn about emotional intelligence. If we know why, then we know how. We look at anything. So why is this happening? Why did they say this? Or why did somebody do this? If we know the why, then we will know how to address that issue. It is a differentiator between machine learning and human learning. Machines can never, with artificial intelligence and cloud computing and all that, it can never match human learning and human behavior, no matter how much robotics and all that come in. That's where EI comes in. It makes us inclusive to our environment. Everybody, the people, places, and events, we revolve around them and they revolve around us. They are our environment. And how we treat other people will affect how they treat us. So that's where EI comes in. It trains the mind to think rationally and clearly. It forms our personality and our character. Very important. It leads to our self-identification, self-esteem, and self-worth, which we discussed earlier. EI, emotional intelligence, will be the next major disruptor in our age-old education system. Because right now, there is no experiential learning. All the learning is done by books and text. And unless we introduce experiential learning, which comes as a result of emotional intelligence, we're still going to be behind time. EI is all about empathy and compassion and the well-being of others. That is the key element of emotional intelligence. Empathy, compassion, empathy, compassion. And like I said, EI is influenced by our environment and it forms our psychological safety network. We all need a safety net within which we operate. And if EI can give us that safety network, then people cannot violate our boundaries at all. So it gives us a shell, an umbrella within which we can live in our comfort zone and we can be effective in doing what we want to do. Next slide, please. Next slide. About 4 months ago, I formed this group called Emotional Intelligence Alliance. It is on both LinkedIn and it is on Facebook. Within 3.5 months, we have 3,000 plus eminent people, psychotherapists, educationists, philanthropic organizations, trainers, coaches that have joined this group. It's basically an open source Wikipedia on emotional intelligence. And I would urge every one of you to join this group. It is really something that will allow you to interact with people involved in this subject, to share your thoughts, to share your videos, to learn from their sharing, and communicate whatever you want and or to learn about the subject matter. Next slide, please. Here is a simple definition of emotional intelligence. What is it? Our ability to recognize and understand our emotions, both in ourselves and in others. That is the key here. And the ability to use that awareness, that understanding, to manage our behavior, our relationship, by virtue of managing our emotions. So I found this to be a very elegant and simple definition of that. You know, emotional intelligence can start at a very young age. The famous tennis player, Andre Agassi, his parents, when he was little, when he was 6 months old, they tied a tennis ball across his crib and they would tap the tennis ball. And he would watch, his eyes would watch the movement of the ball back and forth across his crib. And that's how he learned eye movement. And that's how he became one of the most famous tennis players in the world. So even at that age of 6 months, his parents were teaching him emotional intelligence. It's an amazing story to people. Next slide, please. Okay, I would like to talk a little bit about our training program. This is a 4-week, 1 month total program designed for certifying, for training and certifying people interested in emotional intelligence. Now, as you may know, the UGC, the University Grants Commission, has just directed every school, college, university in India to have a formal designated program on emotional intelligence, including training and certification of school counselors. Currently, school counselors have no idea about emotional intelligence, and it is essential if they are to provide guidance to students that they be trained and certified. We have an excellent program. It is 4 weeks, 1 hour each week for a month, and you can sign up for the program. The details will be at the end of the program. So please look out for that, and we welcome you. I think it's very important that all people, including parents, teachers, principals, counselors, psychotherapists, get trained and certified on the subject matter. Next slide, please. As you can see, we have 3 platforms. I would like everybody to visit our website, www.discovermymind.com. Discover My Mind. And we have 3 platforms there. One is the books that I've written. The second is profiling and assessment, personality profile and assessment. And the third is the training and certification, which I just mentioned. So please spend some time, go to the website and look at these programs, and the instructions of how to qualify and how to basically just attend them is all in the website. Next, please. Next slide. Okay, I would like to draw your attention to this book that I've written several years ago, The Complete Guide to Emotional Intelligence. Now, I've read most of the books in India that have been published by authors here, which are very good. However, I've tried to make my book very non-clinical, very user-friendly, and something that gives the basic understanding of emotional intelligence. And I would highly recommend that all the viewers, that they purchase this book. And then I have another one, it's called Parenting with Emotional Intelligence. A third one, which is the high-level analysis of emotional intelligence. And finally, a book on addiction. I wrote this book many years ago, and it's a dark subject, but essentially what happens is that either you are an addict and you become depressed, or you are depressed and you become an addict. So the title of the book is The Accidental Addict and the Power of Positive Thinking. And I strongly urge you to purchase the books. Again, they are on the website, discovermymind.com. So now let's go back to what is an emotion. We talk so much about emotions. A feeling becomes a thought, becomes an emotion, becomes an action, and which results in a reaction. So it's a straight line function. Feeling, thought, emotion, action, reaction. So if we are to manage our relationships with other people, the key of it is where the thought becomes an emotion, which causes us to do something, either say something or do something. And managing that little piece is the key to human relationship. So, it's very important that we understand. Now we have hundreds and hundreds of emotions. I mean, the list is so long. So if you feel an emotion overcoming you, for example, anger, for example, fear, for example, love, for example, sadness. These are all the most powerful emotions that we have. And managing them is essential. I give you an example. Somebody said to me, asked me what I thought was emotional intelligence. And I said to them that I had read somewhere where it was boiled down to 4 words. How can I help you? How can I help you? Now, if you look at it deep down, that is the real purpose of life, to help others. And sorry. And so that is very important, that if you go through life and just keep asking everybody, how can I help you? You'll be amazed how many friends you will make. You'll be amazed at how it will change your life. And it doesn't hurt to ask. The second thing that I learned from an author recently was that somebody said, I read somewhere that the key to emotional intelligence is, before you say or do something, ask yourself the question, what will I feel about this a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, and a year from now? You are about to say something. You're about to do something. Before you do it, just ask yourself a simple question. How will I feel about this tomorrow? How will I feel about this a week later? How will I feel about this a month later? And will I regret it a year later? So these are very thought-provoking aspects of human behavior. We say and do things, or we don't say and do things. Something we should have said, we didn't say. Something we should have done, we didn't do. We didn't thank somebody. We didn't say, I'm sorry. So it goes both ways. Things we say, things we do, things we didn't say, and things we didn't do, which we should have. So if whatever it is we do, say, or do, if you just think about what will happen about this decision, or how am I going to feel about it tomorrow? Will I still feel the same way? How about a week from now? How about a month from now? And if I still will feel the same way, and I'm convinced, then by all means, go ahead and do and say what you were going to say. Now it sounds easy. How do you think all this in a matter of seconds or minutes before you make that decision? So, but it is something, it's a good exercise to do, and I recommend it highly. I would like, next slide, please. The book that I just mentioned, The Complete Guide, and here are 2 testimonials from some very famous people who really liked the book, and the testimonial is there for you to read. There are many, many more that I have received from authors, from experts across the world. So I couldn't share them all with you, but I just thought I'd share this with you. They're very good people. Mr. Rajagopalan is the Senior Executive Vice President at Reliance Industries, reporting, I believe, directly to Mr. Ambani. And he's in charge of the entire emotional intelligence program at Reliance. And when he read my book, this is what he has to say. So I'm very pleased. Next slide, please. This is the book. These are my other 3 books. One is Parenting with Emotional Intelligence. The other is a forensic analysis. This is a highly clinical understanding of emotional intelligence, mainly for people that are involved in the study and teaching, and maybe they're doing PhD degrees in emotional intelligence. So this is a very high-end book. The third book, as I said, is The Accidental Addict. And it is one that excuse me, I highly recommend this book because as we know, addiction is one of the biggest problems in the world. Roughly 30% of all humanity, 6.5 billion people, are addicts, and of some sort, of some kind, to some degree, are addicts of something. And it's not just limited to drugs and alcohol. Addiction, anything done in excess of the normal is an addiction. Whether it's eating, gambling, gaming, you could be addicted to reading, although you want to read all the time. Or you could, so there are 98 known addictions. And this is, my cover is about the Addict Express coming. The man is sitting on the tracks and he's not knowing he's an addict. And it's kind of a metaphor for the problem. So I realized that emotions are the reason for depression. And depression is what makes addicts either before or after. So I went to the source of addiction. I went to the source of depression, and I found out that it's all emotions. It's all about emotions. Bad emotion, if you are in a negative emotions particularly, will cause you to become depressed. You'll have anxiety, you'll have stress, you'll have all those symptoms. And when you are depressed, now currently what is happening is that psychiatrists are prescribing very strong medication, prescription medication for any behavioral problem. I'm against that. I think that first, it's like homeopathy and allopathy. To me, if you are having a mental health problem, try emotional intelligence first. It is almost zero cost, and it probably will solve 95% of problems related to depression, anxiety, or stress. I'm sure you will agree. So my view is, why spend thousands of rupees in expensive psychiatric treatment, in expensive prescription medication? By the way, these prescription medications themselves become an addict source of addiction. So I am of the view that there is another answer, a much more holistic answer, and we should try that first. So these are my other 3 books. We have a special going on for all 4 books, which we'll be happy to share with you. Next slide, please. Okay, could you go back? Could you go back one? This is about assessment and profiling. I believe that everybody, every adolescent, every student, every teacher in our country should take a emotional and assessment and profiling test. It's a very simple test, it's only 20 minutes long, but it gives you a complete, in-depth, detailed understanding of your mental status. It analyzes all your multiple intelligences, such as aptitude, memory, logic, and it gives you a very detailed explanation of what is going on in your mind. Now, when you go for counseling, if you have this report, and it's very inexpensive, if you have the report, then you can sit down with the counselor, be it a psychologist, be a psychiatrist, and say, okay, this is what my emotional quotient assessment and profiling report is telling me. Now, in order to seek guidance from you, I need you to know that this is what this is a result of a program that some of the top eminent psychiatrists and mental health experts in the world have designed this algorithm. So I strongly recommend that every student take this. It's very inexpensive, and it'll give you amazing insights about yourself. And from there, even the parent can do the counseling if need be. Because now you understand the diagnosis of the problem. Up to now, what we do is we just go to a doctor and say, hey, look, I don't know what's going on, and just take care of me or take care of my child. But that's not the way to do it. You should know what is going on. You should know your strengths, your weaknesses, which areas need to be addressed, which areas need help, and then you decide where to go. And of course, if it's an acute case of depression, then yes, the psychiatrist should be certainly taken in for advisement, but only as a last resort. So EQ profiling and assessment is a very important tool to have in case your child is unmanageable, in case you are undergoing emotional stress. Thank you. One more. Okay, these are the advantages of taking a EQ assessment test. They're all there. You know, it identifies your personal thinking preferences. It enables parents to understand what their child is thinking, learning, how it's learning, and understanding. Once the student knows their strengths and weaknesses, it gives self-confidence, and it establishes communication in order to restore broken relationships. It also helps you pick the right subject and career choices. One of the major issues today for children in their teens is what to do about their career. Somebody wants to be an artist, somebody wants to be a pilot, the parent wants them to be a doctor or a lawyer. There is conflict within the household. And it is important that the parent, by having their child take this test, that they know, and the test will tell you the preferred career choice for your child. It is very scientific, and it is a detailed analysis that I highly recommend. You must have your child or yourself take this test, even if you're an adult. It is your emotional Janam Patri. When you are born, you're given a Janam Patri. The Pandit says, this is your Rashi, it's in the wrong house. So if you do this, wear this, eat this, pray for this, then your problems will be resolved. Similarly, if you have your emotional Janam Patri, then you will know what to do in case there's a problem. And I highly recommend this. And by going to the connecting links in our last page, in our contact page, we can take you to people that provide this service. Thank you. Next. This is the 4-module training and certification program that I mentioned earlier. Each module is designed to give you an in-depth understanding of emotional intelligence and to give you a certification at the end of it. This is for school counselors, for teachers, for educationists, and even parents if they want to take this course. It's very reasonable again. And once you go through this course, you'll be able to talk, discuss, learn, teach emotional intelligence to the next person. So it's a kind of a train the trainer program. And we give you all the information, all the course content and the working sessions so that you can become qualified in the area of emotional intelligence. So, I highly recommend that, particularly given the new law, the new ruling by the UGC, all teachers, I mean, I know that you folks are involved heavily in the education space. I really highly recommend that every teacher, every school counselor take this 4-week course on training and certification in emotional intelligence. Next slide, please. Okay, these are some of the benefits and the topics that we cover. And it is, again, at the opportunity is now because we're offering some discounts and other benefits if you register for the course, like within a day or so. We will provide you one of my books, the complete guide, at no cost. We will give you a profiling and assessment test worth 1,500 rupees at no cost. And we'll also give you a discount on the training and certification program of 10%. So total benefits, if you register now, will be about 3,000 rupees. The total cost of the program is 7,995. So as you can see, the benefits are very compelling, and we'd love for you to join us in the certification program. Next, please. Now, these are all our links, our contact points. First, I would highly recommend that you go to the website, discovermymind.com. The other links to the other programs, training and certification, profiling and assessment, the Emotional Intelligence Alliance group that I highly recommend that you join. Then for our webinars, you have this link. We have a very nice video library and a book library that is on our website. It has some of the finest videos on emotional intelligence, which you can view at your convenience and learn all about the subject matter. And please write to us. We prefer correspondence via our email, eqtraining@discovermymind.com. I want to thank you all, and I hope to look forward to having you as being part of our training and certification program. Take it away, Radhakrishnan. Take it away.
Can we address few questions if audience have some questions?
Sure. Please, please.
Yeah, 1 second, sir. Let me stop sharing. Yeah. It's wonderful, sir, to listen to you. A person like you have come and you have explained it very well. And you are offering also a lot of courses, programs, etc. It is so nice to hear you.
Thank you.
And now the platform is open for the audience to ask questions. See, if you have any questions, you can ask. We can take only very few questions because I can tell you, sir is not keeping well. Still, he came today because a day before he was speaking to me, and I was very much worried whether sir will be able to.
That's okay. That's okay.
But still, sir has told me that I will be there. I will address. There is no doubt. I love addressing people. That's what you can see, the passion. That's what captivated me. Because even though he is not keeping so well, he decided to come over here. Even I was telling you, take rest, we will have it after a week or something. He told, no, I have committed, I will come. That is the passion to the profession. That's what we all should learn from people like Vasant Agrawal, the senior people like Vasant sir. That's what I wanted to tell you. Now, it's open to you. Those who have questions, you can raise your hand, then you can unmute, you can introduce yourself, and you can ask to sir, because you won't get every time such type of people to answer your queries. So if you have anything, please ask him. Audience, please. Sir, may I ask you one question, sir? May I ask you? Yeah, ma'am. Uma, ma'am, you can ask. Can you unmute? Uma's iPad. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. I've unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can introduce yourself, ma'am, and you can ask.
I'm Oma Annaya from Mysore.
Yeah.
I'm an administrator in a school called Vidyavardhaka Sangha BM Shri Educational Institutions.
Okay.
It's a 38 years old school, and I'm working there for the past 36 years. I'm interested to register myself for the course. So please let me know how I could go about it.
Yes, you can write to us at our email, eqtraining@discovermymind.com. In fact,
EQ training.
we should bring up that slide.
Yeah,
Radhakrishnan,
one second, sir. One second.
our slide. We should bring it up one more time.
Yeah, one second. Yeah,
There you go.
she can take a screenshot.
Yeah, I've taken a screenshot.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
also it's available on YouTube.
EQ, sir, EQ training and certification. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's a wonderful session.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's eqtraining@discovermymind.
yeah,
Please see the complete email address.
yeah.
Sure.
And it is available on
Thank
YouTube,
you.
ma'am. This
Thank
full
you.
session is available
Sure,
on
sir.
YouTube. So you can again check the link and all if you want. It's available on YouTube, our channel. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else?
I'm sorry?
Mrs. Kamarajani ma'am is here. She is unmuted.
Who?
Kamarajani.
Kamarajani. Okay, let her ask. Yeah, Kamarajani, ma'am. Can she unmute herself? Kamarajani, ma'am, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Can you hear me, sir? Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. First of all, let me thank Panchatantra Planet for this wonderful session, sir. Sir, I done my PhD in emotional intelligence. I was so happy to get all your things, and we could remove the cobweb from our minds, sir. Your words, definitely. You use the beautiful word, taking away the cobweb from the brain. Definitely, sir. And as Uma ma'am said, we want to undergo the training. Please help us. I'll join myself in your link, sir. Please guide us to have a good teachers in future. Thank you so much, sir. I'm working in Adesh. My principal is Mr. Binamun, and he's giving an ample guidance through this Panchatantra to make ourselves the best teachers in that, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Radhakrishnan, sir, too. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Nasrana Shafi, can you unmute yourself and ask? Nasrana Shafi, can you unmute yourself and ask?
Yes, sir. I have unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear. Can you come on video?
There's some problem, sir. Can I just speak?
No issue. You can ask your question. Yeah.
So my question is, some students are so much emotionally drained. How can we instill emotions in them and among these students? Specifically in this present Gen Next.
The answer is very simple. The teacher, tutor, the counselor, the student advisor, they must know about emotional intelligence. The parent must know about emotional intelligence. The students, most of the students, they may be emotionally drained, but they're interested in playing games. They want to do video games. They're not interested in learning about emotional intelligence. They're more interested in the girls and the guys, and the guys and the girls. So, answer to your question is, it starts at home with the parents. And that's why I urge every parent to take the training and certification course as well. And then if the student counselor is well trained, then if the student goes to them, they will get good guidance, they will get good counseling, because the student has nowhere else to go except the parent or the counselor.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Nasrana ma'am. Thank you. Now, Biji Suresh, can you unmute yourself, Biji Suresh? And ask the question. Yeah, ma'am. Please introduce and ask the question.
Good evening, sir. I listened to your talk and it was very much interesting, very informative too. I'm Ms. Biji Suresh, postgraduate teacher in biology from Silver Hills Public School, also working as coordinator in the same school. So my question is related to what you spoke. You spoke one sentence about how some children can avoid psychiatric medicines if they go for this EI course. Is that true?
No, what I meant to say was that before you go to expensive psychiatry treatment and prescription medication, try emotional intelligence. That is, if you get a good understanding, which is by learning about it, which is by attending the course, which is not a very long, drawn out 1 year program, anything. In 4 weeks, you'll know enough about emotional intelligence to be able to manage yourself or your child. You see, the fundamentals you will get clear. Then, of course, if you're really interested, there are advanced courses that we also provide. But what I'm saying is, try this first. Don't go to expensive psychiatry and don't go to prescription medication just because you don't know what else to do. That is what's happening with parents. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. The child is unmanageable, right? So the first thing they do is, oh, take him to a psychiatrist. Well, that maybe I feel that should not be the case. I feel there is a homeopathy solution to it, not an allopathy solution to it. Most of the illnesses we have, 95%, can be solved by Ayurveda or homeopathy. It's only cancer or some of the drastic illnesses that require allopathic treatment. So why not use the same approach here? By reading on books, I have got 4 books. By reading them and by attending, now I have videos on the subject on my website. These are videos from top-notch people in the world. You read some of those, you hear, you listen to some of these talks. All of a sudden you say, hey, I know what to do. I don't need to go and pay 2,000 rupees an hour. You see, and that's all I'm saying is, they have their own position, they have their own value. And if the situation is very extreme, dire situation of depression and suicidal tendencies, then by all means get the prescription medication, but not as a first resort. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Can Dr. Alex Pereira, can you unmute yourself and ask the question? Hello, Dr. Alex Pereira.
Yeah, I can, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
what about the video? Video, do you allow me?
No, video I'm not able to see. If
Yeah.
video is not there, also no issue. If you want,
Okay. You have disabled it.
yeah, no, we didn't. You can unmute yourself, video.
Yeah. Okay.
We are able to
Thank
see.
you.
We are able to see.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir. No, I think that my question was halfly asked by the previous person. So what I also wanted to, I am Dr. Alex Pereira. I'm a senior academic consultant in a school and also a university lecturer. So that I wanted to ask also the same now in a different manner. You said, sir, good evening, sir. You said that the depression, emotional intelligence and the link with the depression, that because most of the people they prescribe medicine directly for depression. How far can we go with emotional intelligence and counseling? You mean that it is one question of mine, but it was halfly answered. Second question is, sir, please tell us and guide us how to face this problem of our children now. They are coming back to schools now after 18 months of, repression and all this frustration and all these things there. What would be the new symptoms and new way of understanding these children there? Can you kindly guide us, please, sir?
Sure, you're absolutely right. This COVID has created more mental health problems than ever before. Whether it's the parent, whether it's the child, being isolated in your home 24 hours a day and not having an outlet for your energy, not being able to communicate with your friends and with your teachers. So it has caused a backlash that is very sad. Now, we have no magic bullet. we do not, I do not at least want to say that if you did this, this, and this, all of a sudden all the problems go away. It depends on the extent of the problem. Is it a casual problem? Is it a serious problem? Are there suicidal tendencies associated? Is the child not talking, eating, sleeping, walking, not doing, hanging out with bad characters? Is the child addicted to social media so that they're not communicating with the rest of the household or with the parents? And to what extent? So it depends on the extent of the ailment. How serious is it? Now, all these prescription medications, all they do is basically try and change the brain, not the mind, change the brain, the chemistry of the brain to not release or to release certain chemicals, the 4 chemicals that the brain releases, and oxytocin and so on and so forth. And so it tries to manage may be fine, but these drugs are addictive. All I'm trying to, I've done years of research on addiction, and I can guarantee you my book, the last one, The Accidental Addict, you should read that book. It has been approved by Penguin Random House, one of the biggest publishers in the world. I shouldn't say the word approved. It has been edited by them. And they found enough in the book to say, boy, there are thousands of books on addiction, yet they picked my book to give a review. So what I'm not able to answer your question directly, only because I don't have a works for everyone answer. It depends on the person. And if they are in the hands of a good counselor, a good psychologist, then that is step 1. Don't take medication right away. Go to a good counselor. Pour your heart out. Let them know what you're going through. Let your feelings be known. Let your thoughts be known. And if it's a good counselor, they'll give good advice. And parents should recognize this, is all I'm saying. Beyond that, I provide counseling services. I'd be happy to talk to any person and guide them. And if I can't do it, then I would refer them to some other expert.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Alexa. Thank you, Vasant, sir, for a wonderful answer. Now, I think the questions are over. I think so. So now we can move to the next. I invite Binu, sir, to present the coming up slides and also vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to Binu, sir. Over to Binu, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And before that, I would like to remind each and everyone that feedback form should be filled properly without mistakes, because once you submit the feedback, immediately you will be receiving your certificates. Within 2 to 3 minutes, you will be receiving your certificates immediately after filling the form. So you fill it properly without any error. That's what I wanted to tell you. And the upcoming sessions are already there. Slides, he is presenting the slides. You can just see it. And if you want, you can take the screenshot and also visit our social media pages. You can see all the details of coming up sessions also. Yes, Binu sir, you can move to next. Yeah. Yeah, 22nd and 23rd, you can see 2 programs on art integration. These sessions are very important if you want to implement art integration as per the NEP. Yeah. Then the next slide, please. Yeah. Yeah, then you can see science and also mathematics, art integration sessions. Please attend these sessions to know better about it. And you know Beena ma'am and also Binish and all you know, because they all have come to our platform earlier and conducted wonderful discussions, debates and all. So you know them well. So please attend. We will be sending the links in the coming days. Yeah. And also you can see the coming up sessions. You can see that again, there is sports integration as Binu Mohan has taught in the beginning. Sports integration sessions, school leaders and the PE teachers must attend. It is not only sports teachers and PE teachers, sports teachers and principals, even other subject teachers. Then only you will come to know how can you integrate physics, chemistry or history that you teach with the sports. If you want to know, all the teachers must attend. If you classify only for the PE teachers or only for the principal, other teachers won't be knowing, because very few opportunities only you get for sports integration sessions. And we are collaborating with the Spotify, one of the most important agency. That is one of the most famous agency in the world. They are based in UK. They have companies in India too. Their sister concerns in India too. They are going to organize this particular session, so you must attend. Then again, commerce session, then also the boot camp for converting schools from good to great, that is with the AUS affiliate. We are doing it with AUS affiliation, so it would be wonderful. It will be a certified course for school leaders, coordinators, aspiring school leaders also. Then again, sports integration, as I told, special 3-day sessions will be the later stage. Then the counseling and socio-emotional training session that we will be planning with the sir and also with some other excellent experts in the month of November. Yes, Binu sir, now you can go with your vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to wind up the session. First of all, on behalf of Panjandra Planet, I would like to propose vote of thanks. Today, we got a wonderful guest, an esteemed guest, as Rajakrishnan sir rightly mentioned that, irrespective of all his problems, personal problems, he attended the session because he is an educationist. He kept his promise. He came here and he delivered a wonderful, very informative speech. And he not only just delivered a speech, he just suggested the ways to empower ourselves. He suggested a lot of educational resources, links, textbooks, everything. The session was really a practically oriented session. The takeaway is huge. Actually, you all can go and enrich yourself in future. First of all, I would like to thank Vasant Agarwal sir for receiving our invitation from our end. And you came here and we have invited you we have given a very short notice for you. Anyhow, you accepted and you reached this platform. It's a small platform. You just came here and you delivered a wonderful speech. You addressed all our audiences. First of all, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you and I thank on behalf of entire Panjandra team and all the participants, those who have joined today. And you have pointed out about the importance of emotional intelligence, and you reaffirmed the necessity of self-affirmation, self-regulation, empathy, compassion, relationship management, everything. We are living in a very turbulent world of emotions. Teachers, students, even management, all are in stress. This is the right time to talk about emotional intelligence, and you have done in a wonderful way. I think that all the teachers, principals, all the participants, those who assembled today, you please enrich yourself, because the resources are already in front of you, because he suggested wonderful resources and links. Please go through that. Once again, I thank our respected guest and speaker, Vasant Agarwal sir. Thank you very much, sir. Apart from that, all other school leaders, teachers, everybody, those who assembled today to listen, Agarwal sir, and you received our intimation because we are sending messages through limited sources, social media platforms, and some of the WhatsApp groups. Anyhow, you all reached today, irrespective of all your busy schedules, and I would like to request you to be a part of our upcoming programs also. All our programs are available in our YouTube channel. So far around 26 programs already over. So all these programs are very enriching one. Kindly go through the link and watch and update yourself. And apart from that, this program is happening because of the hard work behind the screen. Mr. Robinson and Mr. Abhilash. Robinson is managing the Zoom platform. Abhilash is designing all our flyers, posters, everything. I appreciate their effort, and I thank both of them on behalf of Panchadandra Planet and all our directors of Panchadandra Planet. They are all tirelessly working for making all these events a successful ones. Once again, I congratulate all directors of Panchadandra Planet and all the listeners today, great leaders, those who are joining us and backing us and supporting us. Thank you, everybody. We'll see with another program. Thank you all. Good day.
Thank you, Binu sir. Thank you. Thank you for your address. And also, finally, I would like to say that this he has got a LinkedIn platform, Amit Agrawal sir, the Emotional Intelligence Alliance on Facebook and also on LinkedIn. And it's a very good platform to interact, collaborate internationally, because I have been a part of those groups for last few years when he started from that day onwards. So I'm a person who is much benefited out of these two platforms, Emotional Intelligence Alliance on Facebook and also on LinkedIn. So I would like to request you that please join his group, as he mentioned, and visiting his websites and all, because his website is also bundled with the resources, because I am a frequent visitor. So that I am a frequent visitor. If you want to know more about emotional intelligence, how to guide your kids and all, please visit his website. And if you don't know the website name, or if you forgot to take the screenshot and all, this show will be on YouTube. You can watch on our YouTube channel and you can get it, and please visit and watch. It will be wonderful for you. And as a teacher, we all should be EQ quotient. Without emotional quotients, we cannot teach the children, guide the children. That's all. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Hope you all filled the feedback form and started receiving the certificates. Thank you.